Wow. Pleasant good morning to each and every one of us. I am Simone Claxton, President and founder of the Sapphire Miriam Foundation, a nonprofit organization incorporated in the beautiful Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to each and every one of you. It's a bright and beautiful sunny day in Trinidad. Yet another day. We're on 12th of October 2024. This year has really flown by. Okay, so it's now 10:12 Atlantic Standard Time, same Eastern Time. So we'd like to welcome each and every one of you, all our partners from all over the globe and our precious gems from all over the globe as well. I thank God for health and strength for yet another day. We have our director, Mr. Ricardo Mitchell, with us today. He's our public relations and media director and responsible for all our flyers and graphics and stuff like that you see. And has been working in the background, editing and posting our sessions on YouTube. Right, so we're gonna get straight into it. We have some very special young ladies from the USA today who have taken time off their busy schedules to be with us. We'll have Paige popping in at some point in time. She's actually heading on a flight in the next few minutes. So when she gets the chance, she'll pop on. In the meantime, we have Monica with us. Hi, Monica.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, so it's wonderful
Hi,
to have you with
ladies.
us. Come on, ladies, we need you to be interactive. So we have Monica, we have Chekera, and we have Hyacinth will be with us as well today. So welcome, ladies. They're representing Browngirl Village. Thank you. Take it away, Monica.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Saturday, ladies. How are you all? I'm so honored to be here today. I think I was on this call with you guys. If some of you were on it, what was it? During COVID, we did this, right, Simone?
Yes, it was 2021, I believe you were on with us. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was so long ago. It doesn't seem that long
Yes.
ago. Time is just moving
Yes.
on. Time is moving on. Yeah, well, we're super excited. Of course, Paige is traveling, but we are always honored to come together and have an opportunity to speak with you young ladies about entrepreneurship. We know what it is, we know how important it is. And I'm not going to take a lot of time because our schedules are just moving today, but we are just very proud of the work that we do here in the States through the Browngirl Village Foundation. And we want to continue to do that with you guys all over the world. And so I just want to take a minute and talk a little bit about entrepreneurship and just give you an encouraging word this morning. So if you're even dreaming about entrepreneurship, just remember that it is the belief of your ideas. And so you just have to find what it is that you love and what you're passionate about, and just believe in your ideas and your potential. Every great business starts with a spark of inspiration and the courage to pursue it. The world changes, as we've seen. People change, you change. Just be honest with yourself and identify what it is that you love and what you're good at. So embrace those challenges, because every challenge is an opportunity to learn. And every successful entrepreneur, we all face setbacks. We have our unique perspectives, and being our authentic selves is our greatest asset. So stay curious, stay determined, never be afraid to follow your dreams, because the sky is not the limit. There is no limits. The only limits we have are the limitations that we place on ourselves. And I know you hear us always talk about entrepreneurship. Yes, entrepreneurship is amazing. I've been a serial entrepreneur for over 25 years. My most passionate and what I currently do is I actually own and as the broker of a real estate company. It's grown over the last we actually just started it the last 5 years. And one of my greatest experience that I've learned in this last 5 years is partnerships. So it's good to have partnerships and build relationships. Our business is a relationship business, so it's important that we connect with like-minded individuals, people that have the same goals, or people that can help build and uplift you, because it's not always going to be a sunny day in the world of entrepreneurship. And so I just want to advise you or encourage you that if your goal is to be an entrepreneur, that you just find what it is, find out what your why is, identify it. If it's your passion, then work through it. It can get discouraging sometimes. We all know that it can. But if it's really, really for you, then what God has for you is for you. He'll make a way. He will make a way. And then, like I said, we always talk about entrepreneurship, but everyone may not have the dream of being an entrepreneur. And if you don't, it is okay. It is okay not to be an entrepreneur. You have to follow what your heart is asking you to do. And that may not be in a leadership role. It may not be to own your own company, but you have to truly, truly do what you love and what you feel that you can make an impact in the world to help others. And so that's my 2 cents. I hope that it encourages someone. I'm going to stay on a little bit longer because I can't wait to hear some of the others. Are we opening, Simone, for questions? I don't know.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
That was lovely, Monica. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ladies, please feel free to interact. This is your chance to interact with Monica. Ask any questions you have. She's got lots of experience in the world of entrepreneurship. And, as you said, Monica, it's not, for everyone. Entrepreneurship really isn't for the faint of heart. It takes a lot of persistence, a lot of, consistency, and years of, trials and failures and successes. They all add up at the end, So you just have to keep pushing. Yeah. So we did entrepreneurship, we did financial literacy, we did public speaking. So we have the young ladies on now who I would think they're a bit, they're braver, so they can step up and talk. So ladies, let's have it. Any questions for Monica?
I have a question.
Anybody?
Sure. Hi, Chekera.
Yes.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
So my question is, I know that entrepreneurship comes with a lot of standstill moments. How do you get through those roadblocks?
So that question comes up quite often, and I'm so glad you're asking it today. So that's where you work with your inner self. Because starting out, we're powerful. I mean, 25 years ago, I was young and vivacious. I'm still young, by the way, y'all. But I was young and I thought I could do anything. But the challenges came, and you have to experience some of the challenges first. And then I like to say we pivot. So we take a step back. It doesn't mean that you're failing, but you just take a step back and you rework the plan. The most important piece of being a successful entrepreneur, one, is not only just being authentic to who you are and establishing a relationship, but you must have a plan. You can't just jump out here and think that it's going to happen. I know we live in a more high demand society now with the use of social media and now artificial intelligence, but you still have to have that old-fashioned plan in order for you to help avoid some of these things like you just asked, like how do you stand still? And so to further answer that question, for me personally, I have to reset emotionally. So I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of meditating. And I just look to God and within myself. And if it doesn't feel good, then I'm not going to do it. And I have this new motto, probably for like the last 2 or 3 years. I'm just not going to sweat the small stuff. And I'm going to share really quickly how I got to that point. I have an autoimmune disease that is highly triggered by stress. And I found that my stress levels, it just wasn't managed. And so I was either going to be stressed and sick, which made me incapable of doing the things that I was challenged or, I desired to do, or either I was going to find a way to manage the stress and not be sick so that I can pursue all my dreams. And so me not sweating the small stuff has helped me to navigate without increasing my stress level, which immediately would make me sick. So I hope that helps. Did that answer your question?
Yes, that did. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for that, Monica. you touched on some really, really key points there. Having a plan, because one of the things I do is business plan development and coaching. So I help persons, strategize and put that plan in place. Because without a plan, I mean, you don't know where you're going. You can't make things happen unless you actually have a plan. And then you know where you're going. And when you get there, you can measure your results, your successes. And, trials and errors, successes, failures, all that is part of the journey. And being able to manage your stress is key. I think persons don't realize that, when we're younger, we can manage stress, we can juggle all sorts. And then later on, we realize it starts to manifest in a lot of different, as you said, autoimmune diseases and different things come up in our bodies. So, I mean, as we're advising the young persons now, have a plan in place and try to manage your stress, because when it gets too stressful, it starts to manifest in your body in all sorts of different conditions. And then it makes you incapable. So the things that you want to achieve in your dreams, you cannot do it if you're not well. So having that balance, between your dream, going after your business and maintaining that well-being is really, really key. And as you get older, you get to realize that you really have to juggle it all in order to have that success. Because it doesn't make sense got to the $1 million or the $1 billion and you can't spend it, you can't enjoy it. It really doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
I totally, and I had to learn that.
Yeah.
I realized that when I was sick, I couldn't do anything, or so many things fell by the wayside. So it was important for me to say, okay, well, we have to manage you not being sick in order to be successful, or to wake up every day and accomplish one task.
Yes, I can truly identify with that. I've had my trials with that as well. And I've had to manage my stress in order to keep well, to be capable of doing what I love and being able to provide, etc. So I totally, yeah. I see we have Ms. Webb. Ms. Webb has a question, and then we will go to Maria.
Ms. Webb.
Hi, good morning. Hi. I didn't turn on the camera because we're hearing a mess every time.
That's
Hi,
okay.
morning all. Thank you so much for having me. It's not so much a question, but it's just more or less to have an idea. So I'm a single mom, and I have two jobs that I actually do, because one job is not enough in this growing economy where things are very costly. And within the latter part, I've been having this idea of becoming an entrepreneur and finding something I like. And I like sales because I'm good with words. But yet I am still afraid because I'm thinking everybody is doing it. What if they don't buy from me? And I am constantly reminding myself that everybody could be doing it, but you could stand out. So what advice would you give to someone like me who wants to start a business, but I'm a bit afraid to do so?
So you answered your own question. I talk about this quite often. I always use the example that what's for you is for you. And I use the example that when Nike started making tennis shoes, they were successful. And then here come along Adidas or another brand, Puma. They never stopped making. They just consistently stayed in their lane because what Nike had was for them and what Adidas had was for them. And so now they're all successful companies. So I think that is a little bit of fear within you, and your special sauce is your special sauce. There's always going to be someone else doing what you're doing, even if you're the originator of it. And that is a form of flattery when someone does what you're doing. And even if someone is doing it before you, I still believe that your lane is your lane. Not to mention, we all have different spheres of influence. So our circles, our families, our friends, that may be your level of support, or the city that you live in, or the organizations that you're affiliated with. And the same person making the same product or offering the same service could be in a whole different area. And so they have their own sphere of influence and support. So do what it is that you want to do and stay focused on what you offer to that makes it special about you. And special doesn't mean that it's always different. It's special because it's you.
That is spot on. Yeah, you make the difference in that product or service. So once you put yourself into it, and that is where working on yourself, I think it really starts with mindset, because you have that fear, but you have to overcome it. And the only way is to work on yourself. You have to really feast on positive, content, that mindset of abundance and overcoming that fear. We've all been through it. We've all had our doubts as entrepreneurs, but you really have to believe in yourself. I think that is where it starts first. No matter who believes in you, whether it's friend or family, you have to believe in yourself, despite whatever else is happening around you. And once you have that firm belief, you work on yourself, you work on creating value within yourself, and everything just happens, automatically. You have a plan and it just falls into place.
Yeah.
It may not happen straight away, I can tell you, because when I had this, conceived this idea for this foundation, it was over 12 years ago. And it started as a little idea, wanting to support other single mothers and wanting to empower young girls to, have a better life. And I never envisioned that 12 years down the line, it would be this, right? So it really, it grows. I wanted everything straight away, but yet it took a while. And it's blossomed into something even more than I thought. We have people in Africa here. We have Lateef, who is in Ghana. We have Marianne has partnered with us. She's in South Africa. It's fantastic. We have a couple of girls from Grenada here as well. It's really grown. We have Dominica in the house. It's fantastic. So just believe in yourself, work on yourself, and just keep motivated, keep in the right circles, keep feeding yourself on the right things, and it'll grow. Yeah. We have Marianne and then Radhika.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Simone, good to see you, and nice to meet you, Monica, and the girls. Right, so there's a couple of things when you're everything that you've been saying has been completely spot on and really, really good advice. And what you're talking about, having a plan, that is really important. But a big part that a lot of people forget is actually setting goals within the plan and having sort of annual goals and then breaking it down to monthly and then even weekly goals. So that already stops you from getting that over-analysis paralysis, where you're wondering what you need to do because you actually have it planned out and you have the goals. And in one of the previous presentations, there was a lovely lady that was explaining the SMART goals. So they need to be specific, there needs to be a timeline to that, and then you stick to that. And then what also happens is that there's this feeling that you need to be very busy and therefore you have to have lots of goals. Like, try not to do that. Rather try and keep it to a handful or even 1 or 2 goals that you really focus on and you put your energy in and get that going and then go on the next one. So I just wanted to add that in with the plan. It's really nice to have a plan, but set for yourself a day and a time. And the idea of small wins and having small wins, you just build up self-confidence. You don't have to go for the big things. Just start off with small things and have that coming in. And then what you were asking specifically about, taking the risk of starting a business and all of that, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can still have a job and do it as a sideline and do it as a hustle. And when it starts actually generating enough income that you can then take the plunge, so still take a risk, but take a calculated risk when you're doing something like that. A lot of businesses only break even after about the 3rd year. So, and in the first 3 years, you're doing a lot of experiments, you're building your network. It's what they call R&D, it's research and development, putting your programs together, doing that type of stuff. So it's a very risky if you just say, okay, I'm going to not work and I'm going to jump in and be a full-time entrepreneur. It does take a time to actually get the benefits of the work that you've put in. So give yourself that time, be patient with yourself. And if that means that you have to take on other side jobs and, maybe even hold down 2 or 3 jobs until your business starts generating enough that you can then leave your job, that's maybe a less risky way to do it. So that's just my 2 cents on the conversation.
No, that's amazing, Marian. That's actually all the stuff I have in the middle of my plan. You are spot on. You're spot on, and I appreciate you adding to that. Thank you so much, guys. She was spot on. That's amazing.
Yeah, thanks. I must say, yeah, Marian is definitely spot on. I am telling you, I met Marian early on this year at a conference, online conference with like probably few hundred thousand persons, and quite a number of people in the same Zoom room, about over 300 and something persons. And I believe it's fate. Nothing happens by chance. Nothing happens. Once Marian came into my life, my life transformed. I'm telling you, I can honestly attest. She knows what she's talking about. And one of the key things I would advise persons, sometimes people take it for granted when you're getting into business, is to have a coach. Having a coach, somebody who's walked that road before you and who knows. It's something that I didn't take on very early in my career. And it's things that you look back now and you think, if I had done that, I would have been further along now. But you are where you're at, and take it from here. But take the advice. I mean, getting a coach on board, somebody who's walked that road, who can advise you, they've been through it, is amazing. And things have really transformed since Marian, came into my life. So anybody who gets a chance to work with her, I'm telling you, spot on. It's amazing. So take up opportunities while you have it. That's one of the things I want to, ask the young ladies here to embrace. Opportunity. Never miss an opportunity. You never know where it can take you. If I hadn't taken that opportunity to be online at that conference at that point in time, I would not have met Marian. And if I hadn't taken up that opportunity to be coached by her, I would not have been where I am at this point in time this year. Things have really flourished from one step to the next. So when an opportunity presents itself, never take it for granted. Your networking is so important. Your network is your net worth at the end of the day as an entrepreneur. As Monica's saying, she's networked, her network has built over the time, and that is where building relationships is really, really key in business. Yeah, see, we have Radhika.
Well, Simone, I'm laughing in the background. Good morning, everybody, because you answered some of the questions I had, right?
Right.
Networking was one of them, but also, well, again, it's still networking. But the idea of, we as entrepreneurs, and I'm a new one coming up on the scene, and I am recognizing that sometimes I want to do everything for myself, but I'm not good at everything. And I have heard that everyone said to hire your weakness. Always hire your weakness. And I'm trying to find out, how do you let go? Sometimes you have to let go and let someone else take control because they are the experts in those fields, right? And then, so how do you feel confident enough to choose the right person? How do you go about, I guess the same thing goes with networking, finding the right person that match your passion and your energy in your business. Because sometimes you will hire someone and it could be that person on their own personal agenda and it doesn't really match your mission for your business. And so how do you go about doing that? Choosing the right people to work with so you could carry on and develop your business even more.
So that's very interesting because it is a process. And a couple thoughts I have, and of course anyone can chime in. We just talked about opportunity. So networking and being in different rooms and having different opportunities, you meet people like Simone just shared about how she met Marian. Amazing, right? The other thing is it is a process because you've heard the saying, no one is going to take care of your house or your business like you do. They may not have the same passion. So I'm going to just share my story that looking for an assistant. First of all, I didn't want an assistant because I wanted to do everything for the longest time. But I realized that I wasn't able to give 100% to the business because it was the administrative piece was weighing me down. So I was failing, and because I was trying to do everything. And then it was like, well, I don't know if we can make enough money to pay an assistant. I don't know if we can afford it. But the reality is, in hindsight, now that I know better, the reality is I couldn't afford not to hire an assistant in some level of support staff because I'm not real good at everything. So I was trying to do them, but wasn't actually successful in certain areas. And so you sit back and you just have to find the right fit. And sometimes you're going to go through a couple different hires, or I mentioned earlier about partnerships and relationships. Some of my business relationships, they are my partners, not necessarily on paper, but because we collaborate and share resources. And so therefore it balances out our businesses. And so we call each other partners. We're not again, not on our corporate documents, but we're partners in the sense of our level of loyalty and how we support each other's businesses. Because they're stronger at one thing than I am, and then we can transfer those resources. And so, I mean, to sum it up, you just have to find a person that is passionate. My current assistant now is highly capable of a lot of things, but she says, I never want to be the leader. I want to support a wonderful leader. And so that was a good fit for us. Now I'm so grateful to have her. That's a good fit for us now because she's capable, she's knowledgeable to do all the things that I can do, I believe, or a lot of them as a leader. She could probably open her brokerage as well, but that's not her desire. Like we talked about briefly, everyone doesn't want to be the entrepreneur. She wants to be the support staff. She loves it and she does an amazing job at it. But I've been through 4 assistants though. So it can be a process. I don't know that there is no clean cut to pick the right person. You know, a lot of times we want to pick our friends. A lot of times we want to pick our families because we want to support them. And I did that initially too. I'm just like, oh, well, you know, my goddaughter needs a job and she can do this and I can teach her to do the rest. I spent more time training her, which was ineffective for the company. And it was never her passion. I just gave her a job. So I share these stories because they're real life. And so I like to think that we can all learn from them. So, I mean, to sum the answer up, it is a process. You have to find people that are aligned with exactly what you're looking for. You know, because we all take jobs over our lives. We've all taken jobs that we realize, oh, I'm just taking a job because I need a paycheck, or I thought this was something that I'm interested in. You may not always have the best person all the time, but leverage your relationships with other business professionals is really the key.
Wow. Thanks, Monica. You're so spot on. It really is a process, you know, and then sometimes it's letting go. And you have to let go at some stage because you have to realize that you can't do everything for yourself. You're not good at everything. And then if you don't let go, it costs you more in the end if it is that, you know, you don't accept someone else into that, you know, fold in order to be able to grow. And I've been going through that process over the past few months. It's not been easy. Some people fit, some people don't fit, you know, people fall off the wayside. And I believe who is to be will be, and who's not to be won't. And it really is about finding people who have the right attitude and that passion for what you are doing. Right? It's not about the education for me. It's about that willingness to learn and the right attitude. So I do have some persons on board here who have been with us for a couple months, and I have a couple new people who are coming on board from this week, and they've actually, you know, jumped on today, and you know, I can see that there is that genuine interest. I have Jane, she's all the way in Vietnam, and she's with us today, Jane Lee. She's really willing, you know, to learn and has the right attitude. And I really look forward to, you know, working with her. And we have Amber, she's in Trinidad. So I'm looking forward to people with a can-do attitude, willingness to learn. And that is one of the key things you have to look at. And persons who have that passion to succeed in life. Yeah. So it's a process, you know, it really is a process. Yeah.
This is just so amazing. I'm there and I'm a social entrepreneur, and my friend said, Deborah, you just doing too much. But I'm like, if I just let go of one, I'm let going of my passion. I have a passion for healthy living. So I've created straight from the tree products, elixirs, 100% juices, and I am an advocate. I've created an advocate against child sexual abuse and a social advocate for community development. I've created the Caribbean Alliance Against Domestic Violence. And I am somebody who likes a good time. I have a retreat center. So there you go. But I tell my friends, all of this going to feed back into the retreat center. So when guests come, they'll be able to taste, you know, 100% natural juice. And they'll be able to release stress management. I do that as well. So all the different aspects of the little other businesses I'm doing is going to feed back beautifully into the Ooh La La Retreat Center. So so when I go to bed at night, I'm like, I die every night, tired. I'm used up.
Oh. Thank you, Deborah. Right. So we want to add someone else into the mix. So Monica, I just want to Hyacinth to chime in. So you can still, you're part of the discussion as well, but we want to invite Hyacinth. She's also an entrepreneur and she's in the financial aspect in the USA as well. She's also representing Browngirl Village. And Hyacinth, we want to invite you to chime in.
Good morning. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Hyacinth. So you're going to merge the discussion with Monica. So both yourselves, Monica can feel free to chime in whenever, but you give us your side of the story in being a financial entrepreneur.
Thanks. Okay. All right. So I'm based in Miami, Florida, sunny South Florida in the United States. I have been in the financial services industry for almost 23 years. And my journey in financial services, I'm going to give you my backstory because I believe it's very important and I don't share it often, but I'll start here. So I had my daughter when I was 19. My daughter is now 24. That means I'm 43. So I had my daughter at 19. When I had my daughter at 19, I was working at a telemarketing company making $10 an hour. And I was still living at home with my mom. And, that was sufficient for me and my daughter. After I had her, when I went back from maternity leave, I had the opportunity to go work for an engineering company. And the engineering company would pay me $15 an hour. So I'm 19 at this point, going from $10 an hour to $15 an hour. I am rich. I'm like, this is back in my daughter's born in 2000. So I'm rich. I'm like, yes, absolutely. Well, when I started working at the engineering company, I got exposed to different life. Different things that I had not seen. And this is why I believe that exposure and environment is so important. So the engineering company I was working for, they did a lot of contracts for the city and the county. And it was very busy. Long story short, we were supposed to get paid once a month. However, the owner of the engineering company would get these $1 million contracts and he would spend the money. So when it came time to pay his employees, he couldn't pay us. So imagine being told you're going to be paid once a month, and then when the first of the month comes, your money isn't available, right? So I was having this conversation with my dad. Actually, it's my anniversary now, this time, because my brother's birthday is October 14th. We're at my brother's birthday party, and I was having this conversation with my dad, and I said, it's going well. I'm learning a lot, however, they're having a problem paying me. My dad said, why don't you come work at the office? My dad has started the company over 30 years ago. And I said, okay. He said, but I'm only going to pay you $250 a week. And I'm thinking, okay, you're only going to pay me $250 a week. I took the opportunity because I was still living at home with my mom. My car was paid off. My daughter's daycare was $60 a week. I figured I could make it work. An interesting thing happened when I started working at my father's company for $250 a week. Shortly after I started working there, I started processing loans and processing mortgages, and just a whole new world opened up to me. Now, let me give you a backstory. My parents divorced when I was probably 2. So my dad got remarried when I was 8. He's been married now for like 35 years. So 2 households. And that's important because as I get older, I realize that when you're in when you don't have both parents in one household, it does have an effect on you as you grow up. So when I was primarily living with my mom, we were living in an environment where it was different from the environment that my dad and his family was living in. I was still his child. He still loved me, but we were in 2 different environments. So when I started working with him, making $250 a week, and I started being exposed to people, I remember the first time I saw one of the clients with $100,000 in their bank account, I couldn't believe it. I had never seen that before. Long story short, my dad and the rest of the office, since they saw how I worked, they went to Africa for 2 weeks. And when they went to Africa for 2 weeks, the clients were calling and they told me, just answer the phone and tell everybody we'll be back in 2 weeks. Just take messages. Well, I'm not that type of girl. I want to help people. So as people were calling and they needed this done and that done, I started taking notes and figuring it out. Long story short, after that, they got back. We had 7 files clear to close in the mortgage industry, 7 files clear to close. From then, I went and got my mortgage broker's license, and that's when I started getting different licenses. Today, I am a licensed stockbroker. I am an investment advisor representative. I'm a mortgage broker and a life and insurance agent. I have several licenses, and I like to tell that backstory because the key component to this story is not the licenses. It's not how much money I make today. It's not this fabulous lifestyle that I live today. It is about me transitioning from an environment where I had only seen a certain set of people, where I had only seen people hanging out in the corner, where I had only seen corner stores, where I had only seen people catching the city bus. I had only seen that. And then me transitioning to an environment where my dad didn't give me anything. He didn't say, "You're my daughter, I'm going to pay you all this money." He said, "You're my daughter, you have a child, I'm going to pay you $250 a week." It was up to me to come in and say, "Hey, okay, now that I see things that are different, what am I going to do? I'm going to dig my well. I'm going to look and explore. They're telling me just to take a message, but I'm going to do more than that. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to figure it out. Oh, you have $100,000 in your bank account? I thought that was only for people on TV." Mind you, this is back in 2002. This is 22 years ago. I've never seen that. I remember the guy I was dating at the time. It sounds awful, but I said, "Oh my God, this client at 100,000. He was like, "Give me the bank statement." And I'm like, "No, I can't give you the bank statement," right? That's where his mind went. Now that's like child's play to me. So I am in the financial services industry. And one
Hi, I'm sorry to disturb you. I think I've seen Paige. I don't know if she's still here. She just popped in. Yeah. Sorry, let's let Paige say hi quickly before she has to board her flight. So,
hello, my babies. Hey.
hi, Paige.
Hey, Sharon.
Look, I sent my power team out for my babies. Monica, Chekera, and Hyacinth came to greet. How's everybody doing? How you guys doing, ladies? How my girls in Jamaica? Y'all good?
We have Trinidad, we have Guyana, we have Grenada, we have
everywhere. This is
all
so
over.
exciting. I just wanted to speak to you guys. I had bad reception, as you guys can see. I'm boarding an airplane. I just wanted to jump in. I was enjoying everything Hyacinth was saying, but I will be back. I think we're coming back in a couple of months, right, Simone, to continue to conference with these girls?
Yeah, we have graduation in December. I mean, we wish you could be here in person.
We might, hey, look, we all have passports. Don't tempt us with a good time, okay? Hyacinth, Chekera, and Monica, we'll talk about that. But I just wanted to say hello. Sorry I missed you guys, but I'm gonna board this airplane, but you're in good hands, okay? Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Paige. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Right. Okay, guys. So go ahead, Hyacinth. Sorry about that. We had to give you seconds,
yes,
you know?
No, definitely. We love Paige's bubbly energy. She brings it in and like it just wakes up the room. So that was a fantastic intermission, a little quick break. Like, wake up, y'all. So that's my backstory. So today I have financial planning clients. I have a financial planning firm. I still work with my dad, so I'm the co-CEO at the firm. We have employees. We manage almost $100 million in assets for clients. One of the things that I really love about what I do is the mindset component, the mindset piece. Because as I started getting licenses, I started working with people who make hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars. I understood that just because you make a certain amount of money doesn't mean that you have an abundance mindset. It doesn't mean you know how to manage money. It doesn't mean that you no longer have fears. It doesn't mean that you have it all figured out. As a matter of fact, oftentimes what I see is the more money people make, the less they have knowledge, wisdom, and education about financial matters. And that is because, to Monica's point, when you're operating in your zone of genius, when you know what you're good and gifted at, that's what you know. So when Monica talked about hiring an assistant so that her assistant can be the person number two, and I love that her assistant says, "Listen, I don't want to be the number one lady. I want to be number two." That gives Monica an opportunity to focus on what she is good at. And so for all of you who are out there who are listening and you're thinking about entrepreneurship and you're like, wow, okay, I've heard a couple ladies talk about hiring a team and then being the only one or being in an oversaturated industry. Always remember that what you are good at, nobody can do it like you can do it. Nobody can do it like you can do it because they have different experiences. They have different environments. They have different cultural norms. They have different expectations. So even if they're in the same exact industry, they can never do it like you can do it. So going back to me talking about my very wealthy clients who are good at what they do, They said, I got a team around me to do this, this, and this, but I'm good at what I do. This is my zone of genius. They make a ton of money and don't know how to manage it. They make a ton of money and don't know the money basics. They make a ton of money and don't understand that money will never run out. So when I started realizing that, I understood, okay, I have the licenses. I can invest your money all day. 2 + 2 = 4. If you spend all your money, you ain't gonna have no more money. Like all that, that's fine. Google can tell you that. But where I come in is, let's get into the mindset. Let's get into the mindset. Let's understand what your past experiences are, your traumas. Let's understand what your limiting beliefs are. Why are you believing that this is your ceiling? Because believe it or not, there are some people who make $1 million a year and they're scared to spend $1 and a dime, because they feel like if they spend $1 or a dime, they're never going to have this amount of money again. And then there are some people who make $1 million a year and they spend it all because they don't believe in saving for a rainy day. They believe, I got to enjoy right now. I came from poverty. I came from this. I got to spend it. And so let's unpack this, right? Let's unpack money mindset. Let's unpack limiting beliefs. I want you to always ask yourself in everything that you do, and this can apply to all the questions that you will ever have for the rest of your life. Let me say this again. What I'm about to tell you will apply to all the questions that you will ever have for the rest of your life. When you have a question, and especially a question for yourself, when you're standing at a crossroads and you have a decision to make, maybe I want to start my own business, maybe I want to go to college, maybe I want to move away, maybe I want to, the question that you're going to ask yourself, because there is an immediate thought that's going to come up, and that immediate thought is very likely going to be based on a past experience and a limiting belief. The question that I want you to ask yourself is, am I looking at this from a place of scarcity and lack, or am I looking at this from a place of abundance? That's it. Just start there, right? Because oftentimes, let me tell you, that scarcity is so sneaky, baby. You don't even realize that you're making up excuses and you're telling stories, and they are rooted in scarcity. So when you stop and say, hold on. Oh, I want to do business, but the market is oversaturated. Is that an abundant mindset, or is that a scarcity mindset? Oh, I want to hire somebody, but I don't know if they're going to, hold on. Is that an abundance mindset, or is that a scarcity mindset? Because we know with all the people on the planet, baby, there is absolutely somebody that is a perfect fit for you to do what you need them to do. It just got to be. It got to be. So I like to focus on the no's. No. KNOW, not beliefs. It's a difference. A lot of people want to talk to you about, oh, you got to believe, and I get it. And that's 1 step, 2 step. That's probably like level 1, right? But I'm taking you to level 10. When you move from believing to knowing, here's the thing. Let me give you an example. If I'm checking into a hotel room and I go downstairs and I check in with the receptionist and they give me the key and they say, take this elevator on the 3rd floor. When I get off the elevator, I'm going to be looking, oh, I got the key. I believe my room is down this way. I believe, okay, it could be, come on, let me take I believe it could be this way. There's a certain, I'm moving, but I'm still unsure, right? Because I don't really know. So when I get ready to come home, when I leave that trip and I get off the airplane and I get in my car and drive home, I know where I'm going. I know when I get home, that key gonna work in my door. That's the difference between believing and knowing. So understand that when I say what I want you to know, first of all, you gotta know whose you are. You gotta know that. Whose you are. I don't know if this is a religious group. I don't know. I'm not saying what's right or what's wrong. Whatever your religion is the perfect religion for you in this moment of time. I'm never here to tell you that it's wrong. But whatever your beliefs are as it relates to religion, when you know whose you are, here we go. And even if you don't believe in religion, when you talk about your parents, your aunties, your aunties, your uncles, your grands, whose you are, oh, I know I'm a child of the Most High. I know I'm a granddaughter of Johnny May. I know I'm Joyce and Robert's baby. I know, since I know all of that, it got to be better for me. I know this. So whatever limiting belief, scarcity mindset thing that is trying to trick me and keep me stuck, I can't buy into that, because I know the Creator would never put me here to be simple. I know the Creator would never put me here to experience something that I can't excel through. I know that my mother and father would never raise me and put me in a position so that I can't go further. So that's the know who you are. Then you got to know who you are. This is a big one, because a lot of times nowadays with social media, with the internet, with our friends, with looking and comparing. You ain't them. You ain't them. You will never be them. Who are you? You are here to live the highest expression of yourself. Nobody can live your life like you can live it. So what that means is when people are giving you their advice, their opinions, when they're projecting, and you go back and you ask yourself, hold on, is this rooted in scarcity or abundance? Right? Girl, don't do that. I wouldn't move that, because I had a friend and she moved away from home. And when she moved away from home, she hooked up with this man, and then the man robbed her, and then she had 20 kids and 5 cats. And wait a minute, is that scarcity? Or is someone saying, girl, you know what? You can move away from home. You can align with the right people. You can absolutely do what you set out to do. Abundance, right? So when you know who you are, then you'll understand that what somebody else is telling you about, trust me, believe me, I'm telling you, that applies to them. It will not 100% apply to you. And when you know who you are, you say, wait a minute, I know that I was born here with a fire in my bones, and I'm still alive with air in my lungs because I am here to touch people. Let me explain something to you. Everything that you experience, everything that you go through, everything that you learn, we would like to think that it's only for you. That's selfish, baby. That's scarcity. It could never only be for you. It could never, ever, 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 ever only be for you. Everything you experience, everything you learn, everything you go through, okay, you're doing it, but the abundance mindset is so that you could be what? The way shower for somebody else, right? The way shower, because when we talk about the Bible, when we talk about Jesus, he wasn't the man. He says the way shower. If I can do it, you can do it. If you've been through this and you made it through, so could other people, right? So when you think about that from an abundance mindset, oh my God, I'm studying. Oh my God, it's kicking my butt. I really want to go out and party. It's hard. It's okay, but I'm studying because I'm going to get this license. I'm going to pass this school. And when I have this information and knowledge, I am then abundantly going to be able to go bless somebody else. I'm then abundantly going to be able to go help somebody else. And that's what life is about. It's not only for you. It's not only for you. So when we talk about whose you are, and then who you're here to impact. This goes back to there's a lot of people doing this. Listen, I meet financial planners, financial advisors all the time. I talk, hey, do you know this? Do you know that? Do you take this program? Because I know that the people that I am here to impact are different from the people that somebody else is here to impact. We can have the same license. We can live in the same town. We can live in the same household. We can work at the same company, at the same firm. It does not matter. The people who are assigned to me are different from the people that are assigned to somebody else. That's the same for you as well, because your experiences, some people, they looking at me right now and they're like, yeah, I can relate to her. Some people are like, oh, no, that energy too much. I can't relate to that. I'm not your person. It's okay. I ain't even tripping over it. I'm 43 years old. I had a lot of time to want everybody to like me, but now I'm 43, it don't matter. Because the people who like me love me, right? And so when you get into that space, and you all are young girls, so you may be navigating through that journey, and especially, social media, on one hand, I want to say I feel for you, but it's making you stronger. I want to say I feel for you because you got pressure. You can open up an app and see this person seeming to live their best life. You see all this going on. It's pressure, but here we go, baby. That pressure going to make you into a diamond. That pressure is going to make you into a diamond. Always remember that. So when you get back to knowing who you're here to impact, then you're going to get up and go. Now, let me explain something to you. Let's get into limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are based on your past experiences. Your past experiences are what shapes your limiting beliefs, either your past experiences, what you've been told, what the cultural norms are, cultural standards, and past experiences of those people around you. The thing with limiting beliefs is they're based on old news. When I say past, I want everybody to type in the chat, old news. So anytime you have a belief and it's a story that's telling you something, it's based on old news, because eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. How could you talk about something that you haven't experienced yet, right? So when you look at a limiting belief and somebody is telling you this, or your mind is telling you this, you got to say, okay, that may have been true then, but just because it was true then doesn't mean it will be true in the future. You are standing at the point of change, where you are right now In this moment, any decision that you make right now will and can change your life. I like to look at it like this, like you standing right here and you got a choice. I can go this way, you can get off this call and you can go watch TV. You can get off this call, you can go hang with the wrong crowd. You get off this call and you can go work on your business plan. You get off this call and you can go outside and exercise and move your body. You can get off this call and you can go cook some nice food for yourself. You can get off this call, you go apologize to your mother and father. You can get off this call, you can go into prayer and meditation. Whatever you choose to do, if you get off this call and go into prayer and meditation, there's a series of events that's going to happen after that. If you get off this call and you go drinking and driving, there's a series of events that's going to happen after that. I explain that because I want people to always understand that the past does not define the future. And we have been improperly trained to believe that, oh, well, that's how it's been. That's how my mother did it. That's how my father did it. That's what I know. Okay, that's in the past. So Hyacinth, how do I break free of that? Because it sounds good what you're telling me, but then when I look at my environment, this is all I see. That's why I told you about environment. I started my talk with environment. You need to get a new environment. You need to get a new environment. I tell people all the time, even if it's as simple as taking a different way home from school or from work. Maybe you're used to driving and then you say, you know what, I'm gonna take a walk. I remember during the pandemic when things were different, everybody got into bike ride and I got a bike and I started cycling the same roads that I had driven my car down for years. When I got on a bike and rode a bike, I saw stuff that I had never noticed before. I had experiences, I had thoughts that I had never noticed before because something changed, right? So environment, when you start changing your environment, then you start opening yourself up to new opportunities. When you start opening yourself up to new opportunities, then guess what? I don't want to make it seem like it's going to be all gravy, baby. You may have some obstacles and you may have some challenges. That's when you go back to what Hyacinth reminded you of. Know who you are, and know that you can never be here to be in a scarcity place. So when you run into those obstacles and those challenges, you're like, okay, I know there got to be a way to get through this. Let me give you a secret weapon. Google. Whatever you're going through, Google. And Google it in a way, let's say, I did this with a client of mine. She's an actress. She moved to LA and she was having trouble finding the perfect apartment for her to rent. I said, Google new actress looking for a perfect apartment, blah, blah, blah. And she found a success story after success story after success stories of people in similar situations as her. And what that did was it opened her mind to let her know it exists. So that's where exposure comes in. So when you're standing in the middle of an obstacle or in the middle of a challenge, and you're like, okay, I'm trying, I got a new environment, I'm working on myself, but this is a challenge right now. Know that somebody else has experienced this and overcome it. So now we're gonna Google proof, because when we Google proof, then that pumps us up to believe, oh, if they did it, I can do it. When I see a market that's oversaturated, I say, oh, that tells me there's a need. That don't tell me that they got enough. It's 8 billion people on the planet. That tells me there is a need. There's a need, and there's a need for people to hear my voice. There's a need for people to connect with me, right? So I feel like I've been talking a lot. I took some notes. I think I touched on the things that I wanted to touch on. I would like to open this up for questions, comments, concerns. I'm an open book. Let's get into it, ladies.
I want to say something. For one,
yes.
So far, everybody who have spoke, y'all dropping gems, okay? Y'all are dropping gems. And I just love everything you were talking about, because something I was talking about with Ms. Simone yesterday was a lot of people are afraid to share their journey. And when you go on social media, you see everything is just glitz and glams. Everything is perfect. You don't see where they started. You don't see the things they had to go through to get to the points that they are today. And I think that is really important. And I know I just wanted to say something about the financial side of things, because I actually am recently joining into school for accounting and business management. And my mom is an AP manager, so she's always been on me about saving. And that's the thing, like, this is the thing. I remember my first time getting paid to sing. I'm a singer, by the way, guys. And I remember getting my first check and my mom was like, okay, you can take some to reward yourself, but you have to save. And that's always the mindset because I have built my savings so much and I'm only 22 years old. So I'm so glad to say that because I know that I will be okay when it comes to a rainy day. So I just want to say everything you said, you were preaching, okay? I just had to say that.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And savings is so important. I like to tell people, call your savings a set-aside account. You're not giving it away to the stores. You're setting it aside. What are you setting it aside for? You're setting it aside for a rainy day, or you're setting it aside to invest it. What you're doing is, and I also tell my ladies, especially my single ladies, you need to save my life account. You can't spend all your money and you got to get out of town, hook, crook, or steal. Now you got to go borrow, ask somebody to do some strange things for a small piece of change. Now you got to go charge up a credit card. You need a Save My Life account. You need I have my own agency account. You need I don't need to be with you for your money because I got something over here account. So I love to tell my ladies, you need a set aside account. You need a Save My Life account. You need I don't got to put up with this mess. I can walk away from this job where y'all are verbally abusing me and treating me unfair. I can leave that because I got to Save My Life account, right? And so when you think about it that way, then it empowers you. It's not that you're missing out on anything. You're like a squirrel. The squirrel teaches us, if you want to have some food in the winter and not go out there when it's cold, you got to gather them nuts and save them nuts. And I know humans are smarter than the squirrel. When you talk about investing, the easiest way I tell people to think about investing is you start exchanging money for money. Most people exchange time for money. When you go to your job, they pay you. If you don't go to your job, they ain't paying you. If you got vacation time, they may pay you. But if you don't have vacation time and you want to take a vacation, they may say you can go, but we ain't gonna pay you. Because you are exchanging time, your physical time, for money, right? And that's okay to start. Good, better, best. Never let them rest until your good becomes your better, or your better becomes your best. You got a job? Good. What about better and best? Right? So you're exchanging time for money. Where can you get into the space of you're exchanging money for money? That means even if I don't get out of bed, money coming in, baby. That means if I need to stay home and take care of my mother, my children, my man, it's okay. Money coming in because my money is working overtime for me. That means if I decide I want to go on vacation for a week or a month, you only going to pay me for a week? I'm going for 2 weeks. It's okay because I got money coming in. That means if the economy shifts and I get laid off or whatever happens, it's okay because I have money coming in. So when you think about investing that way, what you're saying is good is you exchanging time for money. Better is you exchanging money for money. And when you're exchanging money for money, you're never going to have to worry about money. And let's talk about the economy. Let me tell you something. You got to stop watching the news. You got to stop listening to these talking heads on the TV, because if you read, if you look at history, your grandmother, your grandfather, they will always tell you about, oh, when milk was a quarter, oh, when a loaf of bread was 10 cents, stuff always going up. That's how it works. The economy is always going to economy. That's what happens. Nothing stays the same. Since you know this, you got to get back to knowing who you are and what your gifts are. And when you know who you are and what your gifts are, and you listen to that inner being, that gut feeling, that's that God, that guidance system that God, the creator, put inside of you, and you follow that, baby, people be talking about an economy or recession, and you'll be like, oh, I had this idea, and I just followed this idea. I jumped on a Zoom call on Saturday, October 12th. I heard these ladies, they put some pep in my step. Then I started doing this, and I started saving more of my money. Then I started working on my businesses. And look, before you know it, y'all out there in the world, being of the world, y'all talking about the economy and a recession. So baby, I'm locked in. I know who I am and whose I am. So while y'all talking about that, that ain't got nothing to do with me because I'm locked in, right? So you gotta see, this is a mindset that I want you to have. When you have this mindset, you won't ever worry about money. I tell my clients all the time, okay, we're gonna talk. Let's talk about 2 + 2 = 4. You want this, you're gonna retire this and this. Okay, good. Now that we got that out the way, let's get into your mind. Let's get into your mind, because when we get into your mind, before you know it, them zeros will start multiplying very quickly, because you'll start moving in a certain way, acting in a certain way, thinking in a certain way, talking a certain way, hanging around certain people. With some people right now, you're around, you're like, I know I don't really need to be around you no more, and I've been kind of holding on, but after today's Zoom call, you're going to be like, I can't do it no more. I might have to tell you I can't talk to you no more. I may change my number. I may block my number. I may just never talk to you again because I know where I'm going. And they have a scarcity mindset. And I just told you that the answer to all your questions is to ask yourself, is it rooted in scarcity or is it rooted in abundance? If it's rooted in scarcity, that ain't where you want to be. That ain't the advice you want to take. That ain't who you want to listen to. That ain't the group you want to be around. If it's rooted in abundance, the people who are inspiring you, who are pouring into you, that's where you want to be. That's who you want to talk to. That's who you want to be around, right? When you ask yourself that question and use that as your metric for everything, you'll see your life change like this. 6 months from now, you'll be having a completely different life. Completely different. It don't take 20 years. It don't take 10 years. It don't take 5 years. It don't take all that. That's a lot from the pit of hell, right? Lock in and only focus on abundance. Make that your only choice. Only choice is on focusing on abundance. Is this bringing me more? Is this doing more? Is this connecting me more? Am I doing more? And let me tell you, I don't know if we talked about it yet, but this goes back to health and nutrition as well. Because you can't be eating all the stuff that they're selling in the stores. You can't be drinking all the alcohol that they're selling. You can't be doing all the drugs and feel like you're going to be able to get up and be abundant. It's wearing you down. The food itself is wearing you down. So you got to pay attention to that. That's something else that I always tell people. Pay attention to how your body responds to different foods. Just because they package it and put it on the shelf, just because they sauce it and toss it and dye it and lay it to the side, doesn't mean it's supposed to be in your particular body. If after you eat it, your body gives you a headache, you hungover, you can't move, your legs hurting, your joints hurting, you can't eat that. Maybe your neighbor can eat it because they got a different body than you, but you can't eat that. And when you start moving in that way and paying attention that way, then you're like, oh, I'm taking over the world. Taking over the world. Unstoppable. Unstoppable.
Amen.
Right,
Amen, Hyacinth.
ladies?
Wow.
It's the mindset. It is the mindset.
Yeah,
the money.
it really
Without
is.
the right mindset, the money doesn't matter. You can make
No,
a lot of money and end up broke if you don't have the right mindset.
the money really doesn't come. Yeah, it doesn't come until you have that abundance mindset. I'm telling you, let me tell you something. The persons who are here today, they don't realize how privileged they are to hear what they're hearing, especially the young ladies, to know this from a young age. I'm telling you, if you take this advice, you're set for life. I'm telling you, you're set for life. An abundance of, mindset, and abundance of money. I'm telling you, people pay hundreds of US dollars, and Hyacinth and Monica could attest to hear this information that you're sitting here for free. For free. These ladies are giving up their time, but I'm telling you, people pay hundreds, even into the thousands, to go to conferences for an hour or two to hear this type of information. And when you start to, delve into this type of forums, motivational mindset forums, you go on YouTube, etc., you're realizing the cost of these types of investment in yourself. People pay to hear this. You guys are here today. It is free. Please, I'm begging you, take this information. I mean, these are some magnificent gems. Hyacinth mindset. I'm telling you, once you have that abundance mindset, and we don't realize how programmed we are in that scarcity mindset, that every decision we make, and it's been culturally ingrained in us from parents, from grandparents, from generations, from the atmosphere and the community we live in, that, take this kind of precaution. Everything is about precaution, and it's not living in that abundance, that money will come. You do certain things, and that environment, it'll just happen. And every decision we make it in that scarcity mindset, holding on, and we're not opening ourselves to be able to receive. And the moment I realized that these are deep-rooted issues, deep-rooted. People don't even realize that they have it. That's the whole point. And the minute I realized that, and I started, because I'm thinking, okay, yes, you need to hire people, you need to bring on volunteers, and then you're holding on. And the minute you realize that, okay, you have to do this from an abundance mindset. You open up yourselves to receive, and it will happen, and everything will fall into place. And even in your relationships and everything that you do, you have to have an abundance mindset, right?
You have to know. You have to know. You have to know. Like, I have this unwavering knowing. And you have to know. I'm like, what do you mean it can't happen? What are you talking about? That's not even, you need to get to the point that any scarcity, any lack, any limitation, you're like, what? That don't even apply to me. What are you talking about?
Yes.
You have to completely know. Yes. And it takes practice. So I hope that this meeting is being recorded. If you ladies have access to it, watch it once a month, because it's going to take time for you to acclimate. That's another thing we're going to talk about. Time. time. Don't give up. Don't leave the game while it's still being played. A lot of times we do that because we did it for 2 days, we did it for 2 weeks, and we ain't see no change. We leave. Oh, this ain't working. Oh, I done juiced for 2 days. This ain't working. It takes time. But when you get to the point that you know, just keep reminding yourself and know, like, it has to be. Of course, I have to be successful.
Yes,
I have to be.
I have to be. There's no other choice. I have to be successful. Yeah. I didn't think anybody else
why would I be put here not to be successful? Why would you be put here in this body? Do you think you're put here in this body to just be regular? No. That's impossible. Just take that away from you. Oh, this is the cards that I was dealt. No, baby, you were dealt these cards, but you got to know how to put them, the aces together, the kings and the queens together. You got to know how to shuffle them things and build your court. And I will say, all of us have different obstacles and opportunities. An obstacle does not mean impossible. Write that down. An obstacle does not mean impossible. That means when you have an obstacle standing in your way, there's a lesson for you to learn. If you lay down, you're not going to learn the lesson. If you have an obstacle standing in your way and you get up and you're like, I got to figure this out. I'm going to phone a friend. I'm going to call somebody. I'm going to do my research. I'm going to study. I'm going to do this. Then when you get to, oh my God, I can't believe it. But then you could tell the world about it. You could tell your sister about it. You could tell your mama, daddy, sister, friend. You could tell your coworkers. You could tell your clients about it. So you need the obstacles. We embrace the obstacles because that's what makes us forward tough. That's what builds us up, right? But just know, and you got to remind yourself. Remind yourself over and over, it's not easy yet, but if I keep doing it, it's going to get easier. It's like a path. One of my beautiful things to remind myself when I'm learning new things, when I'm doing something new that seems challenging, picture a big field of grass. When you picture a big field of grass, it's all pretty and it's all green. It's been watered and manicured. It's so beautiful. When you walk across this path one time, you may see your footprints, but then the grass will come back up. The next day you walk past. The more you keep walking past on that same path, on that field, before you know it, you'll look up and you'll say, oh, somebody been walking here. How do you know? Because I can see the path where they kept walking over and over and over and over and over again. And that's how I remind myself when I'm learning something new. Oh, this is your first time reading it? Oh, this is your first time doing it? Oh, this is your first customer? Oh, this is your first speaking engagement? You ain't made an indent in the grass yet. You got to keep doing it over and over and over and over again. But oftentimes, most times what people do is when they walk it one time and they look back and they don't see an indentation in the grass, oh, it's not working. Oh, that's it. No. When you know what you know, you're going to keep walking that path. No matter what, you're going to keep walking that path. You're going to then you'll look up 6 months, 12 months, 20 years. Oh my gosh, I can't believe when I started walking that path, I remember there was nothing here. Now look, you got to know it, ladies. Yes.
You know, Hyacinth, I never thought I'd meet someone who knows as much as I do in the sense of knowing. I know. You have to, it's not, as you say, believe, you know. And I'm so adamant. I know that I will be successful. I know that I'm wealthy. You might have $1 in the bank, but I'm wealthy. And I know that. Despite whatever anybody else says around me, I know. And I was just having a conversation with my daughter this morning, I said, I'm wealthy, and I believe it, despite whatever anybody else thinks. And you have to know that, and you have to know it, and it's just about knowing. It really is about knowing, despite whatever else happens around you, who believes what, that you will be successful. Because when I started my businesses years ago, it didn't look like anything, but I know that I will be successful. I know that eventually this will happen, So you really have to know, despite whatever goes on around you. And being in the right environment to take up the right opportunities, definitely. Yeah. So guys, we're opening the floor. Come on, let's interact.
Yeah, I definitely want to say real quick, I want to encourage you guys to interact, ask questions, because they're really dropping gems. And it's not often when you can get into a room filled with people that have so much knowledge, they're sharing all these valuable things. So I want to hear some people ask questions.
Yes, come on, ladies. Monica, feel free to chime in because I know that you have a tight schedule and you may need to leave at some time. So just let us know. I think Monica's having
Can't
such a
leave
great
yet.
time. You're having such a great time, Monica.
Right. I can't leave. I'm trying to reschedule stuff.
Oh, we really appreciate you being here. Thank you. Come on, ladies. I'm telling you, these ladies have busy schedules. They've taken time off. Who's that? Is that Dorothea? We have Dorothea in Suriname.
Hi,
Dorothea is an
everyone.
entrepreneur.
Hi. So my question is how to stay consistent because sometimes there are times where it's hard, but how to stay consistent, how to stay motivated, that's my question.
Good question. So I think when you go down and define like who you are, really get to know who you are and what it is that you believe you're here for, right? Take that to your mirror. I always say take it to your forehead, hold that front and center, right? And then also knowing that consistency does not mean redundancy. Oftentimes, redundant is doing the same thing over and over and over the same exact way over and over. And sometimes we don't want to do it the same way over and over again. We get burnt out. Let me give you an example. Exercise. I don't like exercising. The only reason I exercise is because I'm getting older and they like, you got to move your joints and your body so when you get old, you can still walk. Okay. I don't like exercising. I cannot do redundant exercise, meaning 3 days I may be in the gym, then the next day I may go out for a walk. Then I may go do Pilates. Then I may go. So that's the difference between consistency. I'm consistently exercising, but I'm not doing redundant things. What does that look like? Whatever it is that you want to be consistent in, oftentimes we mistake that for redundant. Oh, you got to do it this way. You got to meal prep. I got to keep eating broccoli and spinach. I don't like broccoli and spinach. Why do I got to keep eating broccoli and spinach every day? But the goal is for me to eat healthy. Okay, maybe today I'll eat a salad. For your business, okay, you got to work on your business every day. Maybe it's not redundantly doing something that you don't want to do, but it is consistently working on your business. Does that make sense, Dorothea? Dorothea.
Yes.
Dorothea. Yeah. So think about that. And then also always think one of my biggest things I think is the time is going to pass. If it's October, I will kick myself in the butt if March come and I'm like, dang, you know what? October, November, it went so fast. Girl, why you just ain't do a little something every day? That's a little something. That's consistency, not redundancy, right? So figure, and that really goes into what I like to remind myself is trust your inner being. Your inner being is going to tell you, girl, you don't feel like doing it like that today, but you can do it like this. So that's going to be important. Listen to your inner being, but as long as you're doing something every day.
Thank you. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Let's have
You're
Marianne.
welcome.
So powerful. Thank you so much for that message. What changed my mindset many years ago was I heard somebody say you can't hold two thoughts in your mind at the same time. So what do you have to lose? Like you can either focus on negative thoughts or positive ones. To sit down and visualize the best case scenario. What do you have to lose to do that? You just sit down and you just picture yourself in the best situation. And the other thing is your mind doesn't, your subconscious doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. So if you sit down and you imagine the best case scenario and abundance mindset, and eventually your body actually becomes so comfortable with it that when blessings start to happen and miracles start to happen, they kind of, get attracted to you because you're in the right mindset to receive them. And it actually feels quite natural because you've practiced it in your mind over and over. Like, why fight it? Why feel like, it's something hard I have to do? Like, just a few minutes every day, sit down and imagine that whatever your situation or whatever you're dealing with works out for the best and everything is going to work out well. And you wouldn't believe how many times it really does. It all just kind of falls back into place. And yeah, I just wanted to say that. So like you can actually, if there's anything you can control, it's your thoughts. So there's not, you have nothing to lose. You can either sit and focus on the negative or focus on the positive. So how would you rather spend your time,
Very, very good point. And pay attention, ladies. After you leave this conference, you'll pay attention and realize how people don't even realize how negative they are. You could ask them something so simple, and they, oh no, you don't want to do that because the last time, oh no, it's a lot of traffic over there. Oh no, just negative. Just start paying attention to how frequently people's first response is negativity and scarcity. And don't correct them. That's not your job. That's not your job. Your job is not to say, be more positive. Da, 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 da. Don't do that. Just take the note and say, okay, thank you. And you go the other way. But you're absolutely right, Miriam, visualizing. When I first started visualizing and seeing things come to fruition, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. But now, since I do it so much, I'm like, yeah, I did that. The visualization is here. I saw this in my mind's eye before my physical body experienced it. And you'll get to that point. Just keep visualizing over and over and over. What is your ideal life, your ideal reality, how your business is going to run? Only hold those thoughts. Now, like I like to tell my clients sometimes, and I'm going to say it this way, your human side be acting up. I say, okay, your human side acting up a little bit. Your human side be acting up where you're like, oh my gosh, woe is me. It's okay. I'm not asking you to be loving light all the time. What I'm asking you to do is when your human side start acting up, have that moment, but then get back to where you know you need to be. Don't drown in that moment. Don't stay there. Like, okay, all right, I'm going to process through this emotion. Is this true for everyone? Will I be stuck here forever? No. Okay. All right. I felt the emotion. Why do I feel this? Well, I felt this because my past experience, or my cousin told me this, or this is what I think. This is all I know. Okay. All right. That's fair. That's all you know. That's why you're feeling like that. But remember, know that there's always more available for you. Oh, okay, there is. Yes. Okay. Then you start getting yourself back up. I'm not telling you to be a robot. Your human emotions and feelings are going to happen. That's okay. Sit with them, process them, and go. Oftentimes what people do is when the human side be acting up, they just stay there. And they stay in that lack. They stay in that scarcity. They stay in that, and that's you turn it to grief, depression, all these other things. You're like, okay, all right. And I'm feeling this. I'm going to unpack this. And I got to get up. I got to. I have 1 minute. I actually have a client in my office, and 30 minutes. I have a 12 o'clock that I'm going to have to leave my home to get to my office on a Saturday to go. So I have 1 minute for any questions or anything like that. If not, I have enjoyed you ladies. Thank you for this opportunity. I wish you all the best. Watch the replay. Watch it once a month. You could be cleaning and just listening to it. Let it go in your subconscious mind. Keep doing it, and know that you're meant for greatness. And you could never be anything less than successful. That's it. 2 questions, Nevada and Katrina.
Yeah, so let's go. Katrina, let's go quickly.
Hi, Liz. I just wanted to say I loved all the advice you gave us. It was extremely motivational, and I love your positivity towards obstacles in life. You said that doesn't mean it's impossible. And I just thank you so much for giving us such amazing advice.
Oh, you're welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. I hope it resonates. I'm very passionate about this from my heart to yours. So you're very welcome. And I am rooting for you. I'm rooting for you all, ladies. I don't have to know you personally to want the best for you. And I want the best for you all.
All right. So let's have Nevada quickly.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Can you pop your camera on? You can. That's my niece. She's in England. Hi.
My question was, what advice would you give to someone dealing with imposter syndrome? Like, what advice would you give to someone that, like when they walk into a room, like depending on what the opportunity is, they don't always feel as if they should be in said room or like that they fit in or deserve like the opportunities being presented to them?
So my thing for that is I always say that the people are the resource and not the source. So the people didn't put me in the room, the people who emailed or invited me, they didn't put me in the room. The people who are in the room, they can't take me from the room. Only the source can. And so that's the creator, the higher power, right? So when I think about that, I'm like, okay, if the source put me in this room, then I'm supposed to be in this room. If the source put me in this room, then what is it about myself that I bring to this environment? And whatever, the only thing you could bring to this environment is your unique experiences, your unique mindset, your unique way of doing things. So I remind myself that humans are just humans. They're just humans. They're humans. And if I am in a space, I am in this space because the source, the creator, said you need to be in this space and you need to show up as you are and who you are, because you know who you are and whose you are. That goes back to that knowing. So that's how I have learned to deal with imposter syndrome, because it was for a moment, a long period of time, probably when I was your age, where I was like, I'm just regular. What do they want to hear from me? And this and this and this. And then I had to do a lot of inner work to realize, girl, you're not just regular, you different. Everybody's different. Everybody is different. And if someone, the source, put you in this environment, it's because they're looking at your differences and they want you here. You have everything that you need. You're always equipped to be in that room. So start thinking about it that way. I know sometimes, especially when we're truly gifted, we're just like, oh, there's nothing special about me. There is something special about you. You just can't see it. You can't see it. You can't let my daddy tell it. Oh, you talk to my daddy. Every time he hear me speak, he's like, oh my God, I remember you were so scared to speak. Now we can't get you to shut up. And he's right. I would get up to go and I would literally, we have to tell myself, girl, do not faint. They're going to put you on the internet. Do not faint. They're going to video you and put you on the internet. Right? So, because people will be saying, and I'm like, this is just the conversation that I have with God. This conversation that I have in my head. I didn't know that y'all needed to hear this. But that goes back to my point that if you're in that room, you're in that room because you're supposed to be in that room. And don't worry about the people in that room. They can never take you out of that room. If you are excused from that room, it's because the source always go higher than the humans. Higher than humans. The source will remove you from that room because maybe no longer that room is no longer for you. There's a better room, a bigger room for you. So that's how I handle imposter syndrome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much. I think that question, a lot of people have that, type of imposter syndrome, maybe feeling that they shouldn't be given this opportunity, or they're not good enough, or they're not ready. But once you're there, it means that you're ready, that God wants you there for a reason, and that you have something to give, some impact to make. So no matter whoever else around you thinks what, you know why you're there, So I know you have to wrap up, but our partner in Ghana, he wants to know, how can one manage fear of capital injection when it comes to like a new business? I guess there's always that fear, when you're getting into something of the unknown.
So I would ask, what are you afraid of, right? So we got to drill down to that. And it's a series of questions we ask ourselves. I'm afraid of capital. Did you say capital injection? Getting funding?
Yeah, how you can manage that, fear of capital injection, like for a new business.
Yeah, so are you afraid that they're going to take over your business? Are you afraid that you're not going to be able to pay it back? Are you afraid that the business won't perform? So you got to break that blanket, that's an umbrella. You got to break that down, write them out, all the fears that you have. And then when you find out what each fear is, you're writing it down to micro fears, then you can ask yourself, okay, is this true? Is this absolutely true? Is this absolutely positively true that I'll never be able to pay back this loan? Well, what does it take for you to pay back this loan?
Yes.
If they're going to take over my business, well, what does it take for me to make sure they don't take over my business? Do I have to have the proper paperwork? Do I have the proper attorneys, the document? So it's a blanket right now. Fear of capital injection is a blanket. You got to lift that blanket back and see what's under there. Is a boogeyman under there? Is it crumbs in the bed from you eating chips earlier? What's under that blanket, girl? Like you gotta peel that and write it out and take your time going. And as you take your time going, then you can realize maybe, these are just projections that I'm based on other people's experiences, or some of these are legit and I need to do my due diligence more. And when you do your due diligence, you may find out, it's cool, or nah, it's not cool. I'm glad that fear in my belly was telling me to look at something. Okay, I got a boogie because my clients are going to be upset if I'm late.
Yes, Hyacinth, thank you so much for joining us and all those gems you've left with us. So we'll catch up again. Thank you.
Yes, it's been a pleasure. Enjoy, ladies. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Right, so that was Hyacinth. Wow, we really thank her. We have Monica still with us and we have Chekera. So let's invite Chekera to come forward and give us her story as a young girl who have pursued her dreams. Chekera?
Hi, everyone. My name is Chekera. I am 22 years old, and I am a singer, songwriter, dancer, model, actress, and an upcoming producer. So first, I just want to say I am so excited to be here with you guys today. Um, and I want to do like an icebreaker. And I know that we're kind of not getting too many people on the microphones, but that's okay. Even if you guys just say it to yourself, one thing that I say every morning, and y'all might know the song, and I take it as a word of affirmation or a phrase of affirmation. And I say, I am beautiful. No matter what they say, words can't bring me down.
Yes.
I say that every day because at the end of the day, all I have is myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be your motivation. You have to be your push. You have to give yourself all the confidence. And like, is it Nevada? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, Nevada.
Okay,
in the
so I know
UK.
like
Yeah.
you were saying, you know, and I go into a lot of rooms that I'm scared. I'm like, am I supposed to be here? If you walk into that room knowing that you bring value to the table, you can never go wrong, because at the end of the day, everyone is there for their own purpose and you have a reason to be in that room. So no matter what, you belong there. And like we were saying, I know that God put me in that room for a reason. So it was my time to be in that room. Okay, let me give a little bit of my story. So I started singing when I was a baby, honestly, but seriously singing, I grew up singing in church and I started at the age of 6. And I started on my church choir and I loved it. I mean, nobody could take the mic away from me. You know, I'm always singing. I wouldn't shut up, honestly. And it's funny because I actually started dancing first. I was dancing before I even really wanted to sing. And honestly, what had my breakthrough was my dance teacher at my church. And she always would hear me singing on the side. And it was this one time where she said, you know what? Instead of you dancing, I want you to sing the song. And I was like, oh no, sing it by myself. You know, I'm scared. And that push was everything I needed. And honestly, that was my breakthrough. And since then, I've been singing all over different church venues, weddings. Unfortunately, I do sing at funerals, basketball games, football games, everything you could think of. And since then, I've been on American Idol, Top 50. I've done some work with The Voice, and I've also done a reality show on Lifetime TV. So those are a lot of things that I didn't expect to do. Those are things I never would have imagined. But that's when we talk about dreaming big. And when I tell you I dream so big, okay, I can have $5 in my pocket and I'll be telling someone, I'll look up a $4 million house and say, oh, yeah, I will be living in that house. You know, I am going to get that car. I am going to get that gig. And that's what you have to do. And that's something that I've recently learned. You have to turn all of the I wanna do this, I wanna do that into claiming it, speaking it to existence. Say, I am gonna do that. I am gonna meet these people. I am gonna be in the room with the people I dream to meet. You know, you have to put yourself in the situation. You know, you have to take that step of faith, because honestly, I've had to encourage myself a lot of times. You know, it's times where I want to question myself and say, am I good enough? You know, am I going to be as good as the other people? I'm me, and I can only be the best me that I can be. And that's all that I need. And I know that I heard another question about entrepreneurship earlier and how to make it different. At the end of the day, you are you, and that's what makes you different. And it's funny because I actually have a lip gloss business called Chevy Boutique. And that was my main concern when it came to that, you know, like, how will I make it different? It's so many people that have lip gloss. You can go to the beauty store and get all the lip gloss in the world. What can I do to make mine different? What can I do to market mine different? Sometimes it gets old when you just see people posting on social media and it's like, oh, do you want to buy it? Do you not? And it's funny because my marketing for my lip gloss is I sing. And when I sing, I make sure my lips are extra pretty and shiny. And then honestly, people ask me like, oh, hey, I love your lips. What's on there? And that's how I market. That's how that's my brand. And honestly, I do that through music. I sing and I always have a fancy mic to my lips and I'm just singing my heart out. And no matter what, you have to be your biggest motivation. You have to be your why. And I have this song called The Comeback. And a part of it says, tell me something you want in life if it's no money involved. And that's something that you really have to think about. Because for me, when you're doing something that you love, you can put all the money to the side. You may not ever get money from it, but as long as you love what you're doing and you know that that's your why, that will keep you going each and every day. And I know that I was just saying, I loved how I can't even think of how to pronounce her name and I don't want to say it wrong, but how she gave her story and telling you guys on how she started. And a part of my journey and me being where I am now, in 2019, I was actually in a really bad car accident. Really traumatic. And I'll actually just show you guys really quickly, just like a picture on my phone. Let me see if I can take my background off really quickly. Yeah, I'm not sure how to take the background off. I don't know, but if you guys can see, oh, here it go, right here. So this was my car in 2019. My gas throttle got stuck and I flipped like multiple times and I was ejected out of my driver's side window. And that was honestly like maybe an hour after I was singing at church. And honestly, I know that singing was always my purpose, but that confirmed it for me, and I know that I have a reason to be here. And I know people go through so many things in life, but you're going to have that one moment in your life where it's confirmed you have a reason to be here. And honestly, ever since that situation, that was a very traumatic situation for me. And ever since, every day, I don't have a moment where I'm not living in my purpose because I know it's a reason that I'm here. So I just want to encourage everybody to dream big. It's nothing that you cannot accomplish. It's nothing in the world that you cannot accomplish. And don't get me wrong, it might not happen tomorrow. It might not happen the next day. But if you claim it and if you speak it into existence, I promise you, it will be a beautiful thing to watch unfold. And I don't want to talk too long. This is actually my first time doing this. I just want to say, so I'm really excited. I'm really excited. But yes, my name is Chekera and I want to connect with you guys. So I will put my website in the chat. That way everybody can connect because I love this. Like, this is amazing. This is an amazing event. And I really want you guys to ask questions. Whatever you come up with, just ask the question because it was a lot of gems. Even for me, okay, like I took some notes. I don't know about you guys, but they dropped some really good gems. And yeah, so I just want you guys to stay tuned. I have a lot coming. I love empowering young women because, I am one myself. And we just have to be here for each other. It's great when you can find a group of people where you can uplift, encourage one another. So I know that you guys, are all on mute, but tell yourself each and every day, I am beautiful, I am strong, and no matter what other people say, words can't bring me down. I have my reason, I have my why, and I'm here to succeed. And I think with all of that, keep that in your mentality. I wish you can sing something.
Something. Yeah, let's sing.
I'll just sing this phrase. I am beautiful, no matter what they say. Words can't bring me down. No, no, no. So don't you bring me down today. So that's just what I'm going to sing. And I hope you guys enjoyed. And I just want to talk and just say hi. And I hope that you guys dream big. Continue to dream big. Continue to know that you have a reason to be here and live it to the fullest.
Wow. Chekera, you have a beautiful, beautiful voice. Oh my gosh, really powerful, impactful voice.
Thank
Play, can we have
Wow.
Chekera? Let's have a replay.
You will replay the video, Deborah. Otherwise, you have Chekera singing here whole day. Oh my gosh. Wow. Really, really. I think you will really connect with the girls because they can associate with you as you know closer to their age. So now is a chance for them to ask their questions. I think through you they can see that they can fulfill their dreams, you know. So I think that's really, really important. And Chekera, she isn't a world-renowned speaker. This is her first time doing this, and she's really, you know, really jumped into it, and she's looking forward to the opportunity to interact with you ladies. So come on, who can put on the cameras, put on cameras, and who can unmute? Now is your time, guys. Any questions you want to ask or comments? We have
Okay,
questions from
yes.
all over
I have
here.
a
Yeah.
question. Yeah. So you say you do your business is like doing lip gloss, right?
Yeah.
You sell lip gloss. And the way you promote is um by you know, how do I say this?
Like wearing her
By
lip gloss.
wearing by wearing it, right? And I'm a nail tech and I'm trying, I'm trying to promote as well, but it's every time I want to do it, I run away from it because it's not that I'm scared, but I just don't know, man. So what what do you do when, because sometimes I'm really I'm really scared what people think or would think if I, say what's on my mind or how I, bring it over, right? Yeah. So what would you do?
Honestly, if you're a nail tech, do you know how to do your own nails? Like, can you do it on yourself? That's your way to promote. Wear your nails, design them in the cutest way possible. You do everything with your hands. You touch everything with your hands. People are gonna see. It is gonna bring all the attention because I know I'm quick to say if I see somebody nails, oh, who did your nails? Like, I love your nails. And that's how you market right there. That is your open opportunity to market yourself. Hey, I do my own nails. I offer this service, this service, this service. You show them, some of your best pictures, some of your best work. That is how you promote yourself. Like I said, that's how I do my lip gloss. I don't really do it as big on social media because everybody posts on social media. Everybody's trying to sell something. And that's my way of marketing. When I'm out singing and people say, "Oh, I love your lip gloss. Where'd you get it?" "Oh, it's my lip gloss. I have this flavor, this flavor." That is my way to market. So take those open opportunities. Do your nails, do different designs, switch it up every 2 weeks. You do everything with your hands. There's no way people won't see it. And that is how you get your open opportunity and promote yourself. Give everything, your Instagram, whatever you have, your contact information. And I promise you, you will get your first client, then you will get your second. And the next thing you know, you'll be booked and busy.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions, guys?
Thanks so much for that. We have Hillary in Ghana. Hillary, do you want to say hi? We have Lateef in Ghana as well. Hi,
Hi.
Hillary.
Hi.
Any questions?
Oh, I don't have question, but I have something to share. When I completed senior high school, my results was cancelled. Everything was cancelled. So I decided not to go to school again. I decided to stay home because I was afraid writing it back. So one day when I was there, I just stood up and told my mom that I want to go back to school. Are you sure? I said yes. Now I have went to school. I have completed the senior high school and I have completed my university, my first degree, and I'm hoping to continue it. So if you have the confidence, when you get that self-confidence and self-esteem, you can do whatever you want to do. Thank you.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Hillary.
Yes, you have to believe in yourself. You have to have your self-confidence. And you have to walk into the room knowing that your work is the best. You have to walk in the room. As long as you love what you do, I promise you everything else will come right behind it. You'll have other people acknowledging how beautiful your work is. And I promise you it'll all go from there. But you have to believe in yourself first. You have to feel confident in what you do. Like I know me, when it comes to songs, I have to feel confident when I sing it. You know, I can't think of, oh, I hope people like it. And as long as I love what I'm putting out there, I can't go wrong.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow. We have an upcoming singer-songwriter in our midst, Miss Sapphire. Sapphire, you want to say hi?
Hello.
Hi, I heard so much about you.
From where?
Are we going to see a beautiful face, Sapphire?
I don't think so, not today.
Why not? Let's see a beautiful face, just quickly. Doesn't matter if the hair is not combed. And Chekera is here, so now is the time to ask your questions. She sings, produces, writes. Tell about your aspirations to sing.
You know, I want to be well, I will be a singer when
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, thank you so much. You took it right away. Yes.
you know, and I'm taking advantage of the fact that I'm only 14, and because I know once you start younger, it's easier. Well, it's not easier, but you have more time to do everything. And I've already produced a song, and I've started to sing in church now, and I really do enjoy singing, and like it's my passion. I've been wanting to do it from really, really young. And now I can finally start to see stuff working for myself. And you're just like an example to me that it can work out, and you have so much confidence. Like I can already see you just have confidence radiating off of you. And I really do hope to be like that. And I know I will.
Yes, you definitely will. And like I said, I heard so much about you already. Stay true to who you are. Keep pushing every day. And you already said you love what you do. You love to sing. And it's great that you're young because, yes, you do have time. And honestly, it's fun. You're young and everybody's like, oh, you seen that little girl over there singing? Yeah, I remember that. I was the little girl in church. They was like, man, you missed it. This little girl was singing her butt off. Stay true to who you are. Love what you do, you know, and as long as you love it, you will have beautiful outcomes. You are young. You have so much to learn. I'm still learning each and every day. And like I said, I'm producing now. I start producing my own music. And it's really good that you're taking on the opportunities that you're given because you never know when the next opportunity will come. And that's what we were talking about earlier, taking every opportunity. I never understand when an opportunity comes, why people don't take it. You never know when you'll get that opportunity again. Now, one thing I will say is, although you want to take the opportunities, you also have to do what feels right to you, you know, and it's a lot of people in this world that don't want the best for you. They might try to get on the team, but they don't want what's best for you. You know, find the people that you want to be in your circle. Believe in yourself, you know, and it's great to be around like people. Don't be around the people that's the Debbie Downers and always have negative. Oh, well, no, you're not gonna be like Beyonce, yeah, you're from here, so people aren't gonna listen to your music. No, I'm gonna be bigger than Beyonce one day. I will be in my dream house. I will have my dream car. I will own a record label one day. Speak those things into existence. I believe in you already, and I'm just now meeting you. But that's what you need. You need people around you to speak life into you. I believe in all of you guys, no matter what you do, no matter what your desires are in life. I believe in you guys, and I know that you can do it.
Thank you so much. I love that. I just have like a question.
Yes.
I really wanted to start producing because it's a lot of money. Like you may know, like to go to someone and pay them to produce your song. Because I'm also a songwriter and I write about like 2 songs a week while I try. And I would love to produce every one of those, but like I can only choose one out of the good batch because it's so expensive, and I really want to start learning how to produce my own music by myself with like some sort of software. So I was just wondering if you knew anything.
Yes. So honestly, it's funny. You make me want to go in my room and show you. Like, I have maybe 3 things. I'm actually gonna move. You just make me want to show you. But all I have is a microphone, a mic stand, my interface, my laptop, and my cords that plug everything in. And that is the only thing I have. Here's my microphone. I sing my heart out in my room. I sing my heart out in my room. So honestly, that's all you need. I swear. Of course, you can get more things if you want, but this is my microphone. I'm on my laptop on the Zoom call, and then you have an interface, and that's the only thing you need. And then you have to get the software, like whether you want to use Logic Pro or Pro Tools or things like that. But I promise you, you do not need a lot. And it gets expensive when it comes to trying to go to studios and record. Trust me, I know. Trust me, I know. And honestly, that's definitely one of the benefits of learning to do it yourself. And another thing that I like about doing it myself is you're most comfortable when you're in your safe space. When you're in your home, you're just comfortable. And honestly, I live with my mom and my nephew. I love when they leave the house. I can sing my heart out as loud as I want. And yes, you do not need a lot. I promise you. If you want me to send you a list of the things that you'll need to start your setup, I'll definitely do that. But you do not need a lot. And I promise you, it's really not hard. And I'll even try to show you the things that I know.
Thank you. I love that so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for that. Wow. Opportunities. All right. So we have Katisha, my friend Katisha. She's normally very quiet, so the fact that she wants to speak today, I'm elated.
Hi, good morning. I also like to sing and I do write music sometimes, but the biggest problem I'm having is I have really bad stage fright where when I go and sing, I could hold on until after I finish sing, but after that I'll cry for hours after. I'll be shaking. And I want to know how to first deal with that.
Okay, so it's funny. Well, it's not funny. It's not funny that you cried, but it's for me when I go on stage, even till this day, sometimes my knees tremble and I don't know what it is. I can't stop it. All I can tell you honestly, because this is the advice I give myself, when you get on that stage, act like you're the only one in the room. And another thing that I've learned, like a lot of the times when I sing, especially at church, it's this clock that's like over everyone's head. And sometimes I get so nervous I can't look at the people, but I'll make it look like I'm looking at them. I'll look at something right above them. And I swear I'll act like I'm the only one in the room. And when you do that, I promise you, it brings out all the confidence and everything. Cause like I said about my room is my safe space. My room is where I feel like all the creativeness just hits me all at once. And that's how I write my songs. Just go into walk on that stage and feel like you're the only person there. Don't look at anybody. Don't get me wrong. Once we start working on it, you start working on the eye contact and things like that. But just act like you're the only person in the room. Don't think of what anybody else might be saying. Don't worry about too many people's facial expressions. Sing your heart out. Sometimes close your eyes, get into that zone. And when you open your eyes, make sure that light is on. Make sure you're ready to bring out that fierceness. And really, that's it. I promise you, that's what I do. I swear, because I still get nervous. And honestly, I don't think it's been a time where I'm not nervous. Like, literally, my knees tremble and I cannot help it. But I promise you, if you sing as if you're the only one in that room, and it doesn't matter the crowd, I can be nervous singing in front of one person. But another thing I will say about perform like it's the last performance. Give it your all. Let people know who you are. Let people know this is what I do and I'm great at it. So yeah, that's my advice to you.
Okay, thanks. And one other thing.
Okay.
With my music writing, I don't know where to get how to get the beats and like the music to go behind it, because I don't have any instruments here with me, but I want to get like music to go behind it.
Yeah, so it's actually a thing that I'm dealing with right now too, because I normally have like a certain like maybe 2-3 producers sending me some beats. And lately I haven't been getting any, and I've been like stressed out because it's like, okay, I want to write and I have nothing to write to. And I know people write all different ways, but me personally, I like to listen to a beat and get the feel of it to see what I even want to talk about. Honestly though, you can go on YouTube and type in free beats. And although they say free, they might not be free. I'm just gonna let you know that. But even if you use it just to kind of get an idea or start writing, write down what you feel, and then you can work on finding someone who makes beats. And then you kind of give them that beat, the YouTube beat that you wrote to, as like a reference beat. And then hopefully they can work around it. But honestly, that's what I say do, because that's what I've been doing lately. While in the process of waiting for a producer to give me a beat, but I still have been wanting to write, I go on YouTube and they have so many beats. Honestly, they're like some of the best producers. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I like the YouTube beats better than I even like a person, a beat that a producer sent. But you can go on YouTube and it's actually like some people will have a link where you can click on it and purchase the beat. So definitely look into that. And it's a lot of them. Even if you have like a certain person that you want the beat to be similar to, like you can say, let's just say Beyonce. You could put like a Beyonce type beat and it'll give you sounds that sound like Beyonce type songs. So definitely do that. Try it and see if it works for you.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. Anybody else? We have anyone else with any questions? Thank you so much for that, Katisha. Well, Katisha and Sapphire are friends, so they need to keep a close contact and they can exchange ideas and music, beats, and all that kind of stuff, right, Katisha?
Yeah.
Very wonderful. Let's have Miss Webb and then we'll have Lateef. 1 second, right, Lateef?
So the camera is on now because I look a little presentable. So firstly, for me, I like the idea of, getting the beats and writing to it, but mine is a bit different because I don't like singing that much. However, I like journaling. So I have a keen passion for journaling and poem and, just sharing the way I feel within a book because I know it's safe. I don't need, to be worried if someone else is going to, divulge what I feel and how I express myself, and it's a safe space to express that way. So, for persons who, are like myself, who prefer that you write your inner thoughts rather than just say it to someone else, because then it could be transparent And you don't have to worry about someone telling you that, how you feel or how you think is being biased. So you shouldn't think that way. You could just pour it all there and then leave it there. So for me, yeah, that is what I do most times. I journal, I put my everything into that. And it also helps me to grow as a person. So every year I have a journal, and at the end of the year, I will get rid of the journal and then start a next journal. But at the beginning of the year, what I will do is I'll put down my 5 prayer requests, or 5 things that I would like to see in my life. And this year, I actually saw 3. And 3 out of 5 is a big accomplishment. So I think that is a good way for us to just jot where we are and where we would like to be. So at the beginning of the year, you put down exactly what you want to accomplish, what you want to see. And as it happens, you put a little tick. And be proud of yourself. Because, too many times I would sit down and I would be hard on myself. I didn't do this, I didn't accomplish this, when in fact I did a lot. And sometimes we need to give ourselves that gratification and be proud of our own selves. We don't need others to tell us, I'm proud of you. So we need to be proud of ourselves. It starts from within. Thank you.
Yes. Everything she said was on point.
Yes.
Literally. And honestly, that's something that I want to get into, is writing my thoughts down in a journal. That's something that I definitely want to get into, because there's so many things that go through my mind. And sometimes it's not something that you just want to say out loud, but it's something that you just want to get out. You want to feel like you have that outlet to just let it all out. And honestly, you just kind of gave me an idea. So thank you for that.
Yeah, that's a wonderful idea, and you write your goals down at the beginning of the year, things that you want to achieve. And as you see them, being fulfilled, you tick them off, you feel accomplished, and you look at the small wins, everything adds up. So don't beat yourself up because you didn't achieve something big, but everything that you achieve along the road, every step you take takes you to that bigger goal, right? And I like the fact of sometimes throwing away. Yeah, she said, the journal for that. Yes, it's like you're starting afresh. You're always renewing yourself. So I'm starting on a new page this year. I'm a new me, and I'm gonna go at it and achieve new things. So that's really great. I love those tips. So we have Lateef in Ghana. He's our partner in Ghana. We're responsible for bringing Hillary on, and then we'll do Nathaniel after. Hi, Lateef. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Cynthia. So, hello, everybody. Well, I'm really enjoying the submissions, especially Chekera. I was following her submissions too, and it was very clear. Made my mind cast where I started in life. Whilst I had an opportunity to be in the government sector, being a social worker, beginning, I thought going into an entrepreneurship business, you need to inject money more. It made me went and took a loan, huge loan to buy a tricycle, which is cheap. But unfortunately, because I didn't know much about the business, one got stolen and the other one just wasn't in the beginning. It just started developing some fault due to the maintenance and how the guy was using it. Later I have to struggle to pay off the loan, but it didn't break me off. I intended to go into that business again because I see there's a progress in that business. People have made it in it. So what I started is to inquire much about the business, because what people who are into it are making it, then why am I not making it? I thought injecting capital was only the way, but later I got to know that no, it involves a lot. You need to start at the basis, know much about the business before you can inject capital, huge capital into it. So I enjoyed how she was saying that she started a little, you don't need to inject huge money into it in the beginning. That's my experience when I went into the business, And God will, if not that I have a backup, it would have ended me into serious trouble. So it's best when you are going into entrepreneur, despite even if you have the huge capital, try and start at a lower stage. Get people who are into it, and you can see they are making it successful. Seek knowledge from them, seek directions. How did they do it? And start from there. I think that one rather help you to build up better than thinking that when you go huge at a go, it will make you successful. So I think that's the little I can say about today's program. So, but I really enjoyed the session. Frankly speaking, I've learned a lot through this session and the past session, and I hope you keep promoting this kind of program, and especially, unfortunately, as in Ghana, most of the girls we are dealing with hardly speak English. They hardly understand the English language. I would have wished all of them are on the program, but this is the thing that even when they join, they wouldn't understand what we are saying. So what we usually do is after the program, when we meet them, we try to educate them, sensitize them on what we have also learned from this program. So I think so far so good. It's helping. It's really helping. I'm blessed to be part of this team. Thank you a lot, Simone. Thank you, everybody here. You don't know the impact that this program has brought to us, especially we as the heads or we as the leaders of the girls we train. Frankly speaking, what we usually learn from here, we usually impact it to these girls. And that's why you could see Hillary is mostly on this session. She hardly miss a session. Because mostly if I'm not around, when I can usually ask her, what did you learn from it? And let's see how we can impact it to other girls. And frankly speaking, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll end here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lateef, for sharing that with us. And we're really happy that the program can impact the girls. We know that there is a language barrier, but as you said, whatever you and Hillary learn, you would share, share with them. And yes, as you said, don't be discouraged, in going into business. And in business, you have to research. It really is about researching whatever you're going to do and getting an idea of it before you inject that capital. So, but Lateef, we'll discuss the business idea. I'll be in touch with you, right? We'll work on some stuff. I'm really excited to, get involved in whatever projects in Africa. And I think as we collaborate globally, it'll become more and more possible. So Chekera, let me hand over to you so you can,
Yeah, doing a business can be hard. You have to dream big. You have to live your dreams. You have to have that confidence. Know that you bring value to the table no matter what it is, no matter how little it is, because at the end of the day, everything counts. You will fall. You will not always be accepted. You will face a lot of rejections. I know I have. I get my yeses and I also get my nos. But at the end of the day, one thing I want to say is because I know a lot of people lose their motivation when they get a rejection or they get a no or they don't get something that they want. Use that as motivation. Use that as motivation to go and take that next step. Use that as a push. Because I know for me, I'll have something that doesn't really go my way and I'll kind of say, oh, should I do it? At the end of the day, I love to do it. And I'm going to use that as motivation to take that next step. Because at the end of the day, I am claiming that I will succeed. I am claiming that I will make it to my end goal. So I just want to say before we go into the next person, don't be afraid to try. And as long as you're trying, you will not fail. A trying person doesn't fail. So I just want to tell everybody, thank you guys so much for having me. As long as you have your why and as long as you love what you're doing, you will succeed. Stay true to who you are. Be confident of who you are. And I know with the person that's the nail tech, wear your nails, girl. The people who want to sing your hearts out. The person who journals, I'm definitely going to be journaling. Keep writing. Keep letting that be your outlet. Thank you guys so much for having me. And I did put my links in the chat. And I just want to say before I go, again, you are beautiful. You are strong, no matter what they say. Words cannot bring me down. I will succeed. I am going to make it. I love what I do, and I have my purpose. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Chekera. And as we wrap up, let's have Nathaniel, and then we're going to close off. Nathaniel's in Dominica.
Hey, hi. Okay, so my question is, what's been the most memorable moment of your career so far?
The most memorable moment. Okay. The most memorable moment I have, I think, would be the thing I was talking about earlier that I consider my breakthrough. So I sang at my church, and the challenge for me was, of course, I was scared. I had that stage fright. And like I said, I was dancing, but my dance teacher wanted me to sing. And I was so scared. But honestly, that has to be the most memorable moment because I don't know, everything just changed for me in that moment. Like I already knew that I loved to sing, but everything just synced in. Like I was very uplifted. Um, I was very uplifted. I cried. I felt a spirit that I've never felt before. It just brought me so much joy, honestly. And it was amazing. Like I was scared to death. Like honestly, I'm looking around. I didn't know what to expect. It was so many people in the room, and I said, "How will I know if they like it? How will I know? Like I just want to sound good. I want everybody to love me." And at the end of the day, like I said, I loved it. I walked away knowing that I did amazing. I walked away knowing that's what I love to do. And honestly, after that moment, I knew. And one of my goals, I don't know if y'all ever seen like the concerts that's lit up with the flashlights, everyone's holding the flashlights. That's something I dream for as a singer. Like I cannot wait to be in a stadium just filled with all the flashlights waving in the air. That's one of the most memorable moments for me was that time because that was my breakthrough. I mean, everyone was crying. Everyone was crying in that room, and it just made me feel like I had an impact on people. I feel like I touched them in a way that they needed to be touched that day. And you never know how you can impact someone's life. You can walk up to someone and just say, "You're beautiful." And you don't know how much they might have needed that. They might have needed to hear that from someone. And that honestly was my moment where I felt like I had a really big impact. So I think that would be my most memorable moment.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, Chekera. Thank you, everyone. As we wrap up, I just want to thank all you young ladies for attending today, for being participative, asking questions. We thank our partners from all over the world. And we want to say a shout out and thanks to our sponsors who have made this program possible. We started in August with 5 sessions, and then we went into September with one of our sessions being an in-person session, and now we're into October. We're looking forward to our outreach. So we're hoping to have a few girls on in November going out and talking about all the things that you've learned and sharing it with other young ladies. And then we're looking forward to our grand graduation celebration in December the 14th. So we'd like to say thanks to JMMB Bank. We now have JMMB Bank on board, the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago, the Unitrust Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago, TGU Unlimited, and we also have the National Lotteries Control Board as well. We want to say thanks to all our sponsors, all our partners all over the world. And thank you to you, Gems, for taking the time off today And a special, special thanks to our guests from the US. We have Monica, Hyacinth, and Chekera. We thank you guys for spending this time with us and for imparting all these beautiful gems to us.
And thanks to Ms. Page as well for making it all possible.
Yes, without Paige, this would not have been possible. So we want to say a big shout out to Browngirl Village founder, Ms. Sharon Page. She's been with us for, this is the 4th year. It's absolutely amazing. Always connecting with her, always. It's been absolutely amazing. She's just got such fire, such, you know, energy is so great, you know. And I can see all the young ladies today resonating with that same energy, Monica, Hyacinth, and Chekera. So guys, I just want to, you know, advise you, stay in that energy, you know, stay in that energy, you know, positive vibration, high vibration, you know, keep motivating yourselves, keep in a motivated environment. I hope that this program really has made a positive impact on you guys. When the recording is out, we will send it out on YouTube. Keep listening to it. It takes practice, you know, and keep motivating yourself and the people around you. And keep believing and keep knowing, right? And as I say, generations are depending on you. Okay, you're not doing this for yourself. Keep knowing why. And your why should be that generations are depending on you. Nations are depending on you. Okay, you will have an impact on your generations to come. So now is the time to make that difference. Now is the time to do what you can do. Take the opportunities that are in front of you and never take any opportunity for granted. You never know where it can lead you. So I really thank Paige for her encouragement. As I was telling Chekera yesterday, you know, Paige has really encouraged me to keep going with this program, and her encouragement has kept me, you know, going. It's really kept me through, you know, some tough times. I keep, you know, hearing her encouragement, and I'm going forward. And I thank all the parents and the girls who have, you know, kept encouraging me and whose lives the program has impacted. So guys, I want to thank you all again. Yeah, special shout out Deborah in Dominica, who's been with us for a number of years, always behind the program and pushing. And we have Utalia in St. Lucia. You know, we have all our partners all over. We have Dr. Joppy as well. She's actually traveling at the moment, so she was unable to join us. She's in the USA with Project Cultivate, and she's been an instrumental part of the program as well. Right. Special thanks to Marian as well, who's been with us this year and has been really, really, really dynamic. You know, she's shared a lot of her knowledge and invited girls to come on board and learn with her. So we really want to thank all our partners and our sponsors and our young ladies. So thank you guys. The program is now officially over. It's now 12:27 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time in the beautiful Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.